Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Coco McMillan Show. You may have seen her in Morocco, New York City, Los Angeles, California, Detroit, Philadelphia, Chicago, Las Vegas, Nevada. One of the background singers for Mickey Howard and the late, great Gerald Levert. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, the beautiful, the wonderful, the spectacular, Miss Coco McMillan.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to the Coco McMillan Show, where we make it happen. I'm so excited to be with you this evening. We have a great show lined up for you tonight. This is the Coco McMillan Show, where we bring some amazing flavor to the virtual talk show circuit, featuring our national and our local recording artists, business owners, social media gurus, physical and mental health awareness. We have designed this show, this platform, just for you. It gives the guests the opportunity to come on to discuss their career growth, their career goals, their challenges, the awareness, new opportunities. We have designed it just for you to come on and talk about what you're doing, where you're going, what's happening with you. We want you to bring your experience to the show. If you want to be a part of the Coco McMillan Show, please contact me at cocomcmillanmusic@gmail.com, or you can reach me on any of the social media platforms. Just find me and we will make it happen for you. We believe in sharing your journey, you're promoting your journey, sharing your story, because millions of people can be blessed just by your testimony. So we want to have you to come on and talk about those things, to help our sisters and brothers get through those tough times, because we don't want someone to go through what we went through. We want to help them through it, right? Each one teach one. So that's what this show is all about. We are streaming live on the IBM network, on YouTube, on Facebook Live, LinkedIn. If you're in your home and you have a Roku TV, go to Roku TV, go to Add Channel, and download Pod TV Live, and you can watch it right there in the presence of your home. So there's many ways to watch the show. So we want you to go ahead and text a friend, call someone, and let them know that you are about to spend the next hour with Miss Coco McMillan, and it's going to be amazing. The two young ladies I have on the show tonight is absolutely fabulous. I'm so grateful that they are with me tonight. This is our third show. Our pastor, my pastor, graced us on the beginning of the year, Pastor Melvin Jackson. Then we had Dr. Juanita Woodard and Marcus Smith. It's just been fantastic. God is doing some amazing things in this season. So if you believe that, go ahead and put a thumbs up in the chat and let me know that you believe that. All right. We're going to do a quick roll call. Let me know where you're watching from. All that good stuff. Let me know too if you like the show. Let me know if you want to see more things, what you want to see to the show. I would love your comments, your feedback, all that good stuff. And listen, if you want to support the Coco McMillan Show, if you have your videos, your commercials, all that good stuff, let us know. We have a package there that is not, it's very, very reasonable. Okay. So we want you to go ahead and bring your videos, bring your information, so we could promote your career, your advertisement, or whatever that you're doing. We could promote it for you. If you just want to sow a seed and donate to the show, please feel free to do so. Any amount. It doesn't matter. We appreciate everything that you do for us. And you can do that by going to Cash App, $VCMS. That's simple. The CMS show. That's the Coco McMillan show. All right, can you do that for me? I see Eunice McMillan in the house from Newark, New Jersey. Thank you so much for watching. Look, my chat thing is just going crazy here. Thank you so much, Kes. Jane McMillan, St. Paul's. Thank you all guys for watching the show, because I know that you can be doing something else, but you're spending this time with your girl, Coco McMillan. I'm praying that Nancy Petaway will be on just a little later. Just want to say hi to her. But listen, before we want to go ahead and get started with everything, because as I said, we have some amazing, amazing guests on the show tonight. This young lady, this first lady I want to introduce to you. I am so grateful that she accepted my invite. I have been following her for a while now. She don't even know that, but she's just amazing. She's doing some great things in her state, in her community. Dr. Carrie Ann Zamore. Oh my God. She is from Killeen, Texas. She's a playwright, bestseller author, award-winning filmmaker, international speaker, clinical professor. She's the director of the International Studies Abroad at the University of Mary Hardin Baylor. I mean, when you hear this lady speak and talk, you're going to fall in love with her just like I did. But listen, before I bring her on, I want to play a quick clip of her. Check this out.
Growing up, my favorite television shows were The Little House on the Prairie and The Brady Bunch. But The Brady Bunch was my absolute favorite. In fact, I even thought I was the seventh Brady kid. I had a theme song and everything. I'm not gonna sing it because I'm not a singer. But those were the shows that I watched growing up in my island back home in the Caribbean. Those were the American shows that we got. I am Carrie Ann Zamore, the granddaughter of a fisherman, Sherrod Zamore, the granddaughter of the village baker, Denise Zamore, and my family owned the village store. Everyone in my village was somehow considered a part of our family. So the first 11 years of my life, I grew up in the small, leeward, Lesser Antilles island of Dominica. But I still watched those American shows. So at 11 years old, when I discovered that we were moving to America, I was elated. Finally, I was going to be an American kid, like Laura Ingalls and like Marsha Brady. But in 1985, when we landed in Baltimore, Washington International Airport, America was nothing like what I saw on television. In fact, there was no Little House on the Prairie. In fact, there wasn't even a prairie in sight. And I quickly found out I was definitely not the seventh Brady kid. At 11 years old, I was already 2 years ahead of my peers academically, so I was placed in the 8th grade. We were completing an exam. I don't even remember what the exam was about, but I do remember the demographic form that we needed to complete. I was given a number 2 pencil and a Scantron form. Does anybody remember the Scantrons? Or am I just showing my age? All right. And so it was pretty simple, right? So I filled out my name, bubbled it in, filled out my date of birth and bubbled it in, and my new American address and bubbled it in. But then I stopped suddenly because there was this series of boxes I had never encountered before. These boxes said Caucasian, Asian, Hispanic, and African American. I sat frozen, unsure of what to do. Because see, back home in Dominica, we didn't have a box checking system. We were all Dominican. No matter what the hue or complexion were, we were all Dominican. So I sat confused, looking at the boxes. I looked at the first box, Caucasian, and I thought of Marsha Brady. Yeah, that wasn't me. I looked at the second box, Asian, and I remembered the shows that my uncle watched with Bruce Lee. Yeah, that wasn't me either. And then I looked at the third box, and it said Hispanic. But I remembered my history lessons of the conquistadores and the Castellanos from Spain. Yeah, that wasn't me either. But this African American box was still a puzzle. See, in my 11-year-old brain, I'd never been to Africa, and I was pretty new at this American thing. So how could I be African American? I sat at my desk with my number 2 pencil hanging over my Scantron in a confused limbo. My teacher must have seen my confusion because she walked over to me and leaned. Check the box. Just check the box. But which one? I looked up at her, my brown eyes filling with tears, and she looked back at me, her blue eyes equally confused. Then she did something that would change the way that I saw myself for years to come. She took the number 2 pencil from my hand and she checked African American, sat down, sat the pencil down and walked away. I sat frozen, unsure of what to do next.
Wow. Look, I'm just staring at the computer like, oh my God. Dr. Carey. That was amazing. Are you on mute? Let's see.
Yeah, I am here. I said,
Oh, wow. Guys, listen, we're going to put the link up to that video because I really want you guys to watch the entire video. I was at all. That was an amazing video. So you checked the African American box and
Yeah.
you was at all.
actually, she checked it for me. She really took the choice out of my hand
Yeah.
and checked it for me because, to her, you look black, you must be African American. So
Yeah.
she checked it. Yeah.
Wow. And how did that leave you? That's the state of mind. What was going through your head?
I mean, I think what in my 11-year-old brain, in that check of the box, she had taken my voice away.
Yes.
Right. So she had taken my voice. She had stripped me of my identity.
Yes.
She stripped me of my history. Right. It's like my history, my voice, my identity, the very essence of how I saw myself and who I was initially stripped away and just taking that pencil from me, checking the box and walking away. And it's like, it was, as an adult now, almost 50, looking back, this is your place. This is your box, and this is where you belong.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing. I know we just jumped into that.
I know.
Welcome to the show, Dr.
Thank you, Coco. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here with you.
I know. And thank you again. Thank you so much for saying yes. When you said yes, I was like, oh my God. So thank you so much. And and I've been following you. You are doing some amazing things in Texas. I know that you are Dominican. Just tell us a little bit about your background growing up in a Dominican and coming, how did you get to Texas?
Right. So I think the clarification, there are 2 of them. There's República de Dominica, which is in the Greater Antilles, which is on the other side of Haiti. Right. And then Dominica is in the Lesser Antilles on the Leeward Island. It's in the middle of the Caribbean Sea. It's in between Guadeloupe and Martinique. And so it's a very small island with a lot of the indigenous Kalingo people, as well as a heavy French influence.
So do you speak a little parlez-vous français?
I speak enough to save my life, Coco.
I know. I think it's imperative, that we learn a little of each language, wherever we're going to the different countries, so we can, like you say, stay alive, get around, we can eat.
Yeah. And I think for me, because we do have a native tongue that we speak in the Caribbean, it is very much like what the Haitians speak. It's a dialect of French patois, I would say. But for me, being immersed into the American culture, because I was the first of my generation to be raised in America. And so I so wanted the identity of being an American that I did not want to speak our language. I didn't want to eat our foods. I didn't want to do any of that as I was learning the American culture. Because again, taking that pencil from my hand, I felt like I had to choose.
Yes.
If I was going to be American, then I couldn't be that. Right. And so my culture became an embarrassment to me. And it was only until I was in my late 20s, early 30s, that I realized how much I had lost. And I really went back and just re-immersed myself into my culture.
Wow, that's amazing. So how did you, I know you said, when we were talking backstage that you moved around a lot and now you're in Texas. How did you end up in Texas?
The military. The military. I would say, so I grew up in Maryland. I would say that's where I spent my adolescent years, in Maryland. And then I went away to college, got married to the military, and essentially left the Maryland area when I was about 18 years old. And I have not returned back to Maryland. So as of course with the military, I've lived all over the world. I've lived in Alaska, Germany. I've lived all over the world. And Texas was kind of like the final resting place.
Yes.
Texas loves veterans, so it's a great place to be.
That's good. And one of my great friends is there in Texas, Miss Nancy Petaway, of course, the director of the Mary Kay. So shout out to Nancy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nancy tonight. So listen, Dr. Carrie Ann, you're doing, as I said earlier, you're doing some amazing work. You are an author, award-winning filmmaker. You're doing international abroad studying. Tell us a little bit about working in that field of international study abroad.
Right. So working in academia is something I've always loved. I actually started in education years ago, in kindergarten and 7th grade. I very quickly realized, look, kids weren't for me. I loved them one at a time, but a whole classroom of them was not working. So I just really, I really developed my social work career, and I've been now in social work for a little over 21 years. And one of the things that I began to see with this new generation coming into social work is I had such a wealth of knowledge, and I really wanted to give back to the social workers. And so I, matriculated my career into academia, and was recently named the International Studies Abroad Director. And so that is an opportunity for global research. And I always tell my students that it's a big little world, right? That it seems like it's so big, but it's really such a small world. And it's very important that we really understand global perspectives, because everything that happens globally affects us. It affects our communities and our families. And so I'm very, very excited about this opportunity for global research and global studies with my students.
Oh my God, it's going to be amazing. And I know, and you probably can't talk about this or say it right now. I know I saw one of the postings. You're about to go on a trip pretty soon. Okay, so I won't say anything, but congratulations to you on that.
Thank you. We just came back from Germany, and I have another trip booked. Very excited about that one.
Hey,
it's going to be awesome, Coco.
I know.
Hey, Dr. Carrie and Coco, just really quickly, I had a quick question because, like I said, I loved your TEDx talk and all along those lines. But there is a notion, my brother actually works with at-risk youth and everything, and I sometimes get frustrated, and your talk kind of alludes to that when we are so quick to label people and all along those lines. So I'd love to hear your thoughts around that, because even though I know we use that term at-risk youth, I sometimes get frustrated about that, because what do we put them at risk for and all along those lines. So I would just love to hear your thoughts about this labeling, because we do know that there is a serious problem with the state of our youth, and there's a lot of mental health issues that they are dealing with and everything. So I just wanted to hear your thoughts around that, because it's something that the network itself, Pod TV, has had a couple of shows and a couple of people that have spoke on it, but not everybody that has your kind of expertise and your kind of background. So I'd love to hear your thoughts around that.
Right, Mark. So I think, when we talk about at-risk populations, right? And so whether those are youth or adults, one of the things we have to be very intentional about is an analysis of the groundwater. And when I say the analysis of the groundwater, is really identify what exactly is the root of the issue, because what we're seeing is the symptoms, right? We're seeing the results of something that's greater. And so what exactly is the root? Are we talking about fallacies within systems that we need to identify? And then how do we change those systems? Are we able to change those systems? Is it a matter of lack of voice representation? Is it a lack of resources? Is it a lack of understanding, a lack of education? So I think when we do a complete analysis of the groundwater and identify what is in the water, right? Because if we have, and I think Dr. Nadine Burke puts it so very well. She says that if in a community everyone drinks from a water, or that water is dirty, and the community begins to get sick, eventually what will happen is that we will say, what's making the community sick? Is it the water? And we will treat the water. And we will treat the water so that the community will stop getting sick. However, our at-risk populations, we do not necessarily look at the root problem. We see populations of children from similar systemic gaps having some of the same issues. And rather than treating the problem, we treat each child individually, right? And that treatment oftentimes is punitive, right? It's a punitive. And so it's really not a treatment, because all we're doing is punishing a child for drinking the only water that they have. And then when they get sick and they act out as a result of the sickness, we then punish them and recriminalize that behavior. So what really needs to happen is the analysis of what's making this population at risk or sick.
No,
Sorry, on my soapbox a little.
No, and I knew you might get on your soapbox, and I might get you on your other soapbox, and I'm going to get off after I ask you this other quick question, because I love that analogy that you gave about what you watched on TV with American TV about the Brady Bunch and the Prairie, Little House on the Prairie, and a number of those other shows. And I have talked to friends of mine that are from Africa that sometimes they have that same kind of thing going on, where they are getting that imagery from rap music and all along those lines. So I just wondering your thoughts around that, because I think that sometimes there is this gap between African American and African and Caribbean populations that we don't always understand and everything. But I'd love to hear your thoughts around that, because a lot of times there is this divide that I don't feel needs to exist, because we have a common bond, whether you're in the Caribbean or whether you're in Africa or whether you're in Detroit or even Durham, North Carolina, and everything. But I was just wondering your thoughts around that, and even how that came as part of your TEDx talk, because I did love that kind of narrative where you were showing what you grew up on, and you knew you weren't Marsha Brady after you got into the house with the actual Marsha Brady's.
Yeah. I mean, and Mark, like you said, those are some of the images that we are shown, right? So I would say in the 70s and the 80s, what we saw a lot was of Leave It to Beaver and, some of those shows. So coming into America, that's what I thought America was, right? We were not getting the Cosby Show then, because I think the Cosby Show was just on the air. So what we got was sometimes Good Times, which I didn't identify with that, but we got a lot of the Leave It to Beaver type shows. And I think recently now, because we are in the age of the media where we are able to see more. So I think that is what's being fed. And so that becomes your imagery of what America is. Just like a lot of American population, when you think of Africa, you think of destitution, you think of poverty, you think of children with flies, when in reality, that may be that is one of the ghettos. Just like in America, we have ghettos and barrios. Right. So I think that is what is fed by the media. And we as a whole, we as a people have to gain the understanding of each other. We do have a different historical perspective coming from slavery. It was different in the Caribbean. It was different in the Americas. And so the way that we react to some things in our systems is going to be cultural. Yeah. Right? But the heart of the matter, we're all, like you said, Mark, we have a lot of similarities. But I think sometimes we focus a lot on what is dissimilar. And that is perpetuated by the media.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to turn you over to the very capable hands of Coco and everything, but I just had to get my little 2 cents worth in and get some insight from you on those quick questions that I had and everything. But I will turn you over to the very capable hands of Coco.
Thank you, Mark. Wow, that was good. Great questions, though. Great questions. I just love the way you speak. I love it. It's so knowledgeable. So that look, they got the right person for the job. You know, you deserve that job. But let's talk. I know because we have a few more minutes. Let's talk quickly about your filmmaking career because so you go from the director of international studies abroad to filmmaking, playwriting, you know, intertwining those two. Let's talk about the film and what really gave you the idea of starting to write plays and things like that.
Right. So I always say, Coco, that they're all really interconnected. I started on the stage when I was 5 years old.
Okay.
And so I've always been involved in theater somehow. I began to write full-length stage plays when I was about 12, 13 years old. And really immerse myself into community theater, school theater, church theater. As a social worker, one of the things that I see, of course, is a lot of different issues within communities and within families. And having that theater background, having that writing background, I thought to myself, there are a lot of people who will never come to a therapy session, but they will come to see a play. There are a lot of people who will never, ever come to church, but they will come to see a play. There are a lot of people who may never get the opportunity to come to a conference or a TEDx, but they will come to be entertained to see a play. And so as a social worker, I think it's very important for me to use the platform that I have been given in a responsible manner. And that is really to invoke the knowledge that I have academically as well as in the community theater. And so a lot of the plays that I write, the themes are social issues, family issues, community issues, but it's done in a manner that brings awareness and education to those issues. And really, that's how Deadly Sins came about. You know, Deadly Sins is it's a segment of a series of plays that I have done on broken communication in relationships, whether that's marital relationships or friendships or business relationships. And oftentimes when we think of deadly sins, we talk about the pride of life, the lust of the eye, and as well as the lust of the flesh. And we're not necessarily talking about anything romantic or sexual. We can lust for the world.
That's right.
And then pride, when pride sets in, pride is a destroyer of anything.
Yes.
And that's the themes in the stage play Deadly Sins. So if someone comes to Deadly Sins, I promise you're going to see yourself in one of the characters. You're going to see your friend. I say it's a perfect date night. Bring your husband. Don't side-eye him during the play. Don't side-eye her during the play. You know, because you will find yourself somewhere in one of the characters. A line is going to hit home. But Coco, my prayer, my declaration in this is that people are standing in line to see a play. And when the doors are open, they're going to and every seat will be filled. And as they sit ready to be entertained, they're going to have an encounter that will leave them changed.
Woo! It is so. It is done. You spoke it. God heard it. It is so. So listen, if you are out there, all my Texas folks or somewhere nearby, please go out and support Dr. Carrie Ann. So can you give us the date and the time and the location?
Yes, ma'am. It's at the University of Mary Hardin Baylor in Belton. It is the Sue and Frank Mayboard Performing Arts Center. It's right off Main Street. It's the Main Street in Belton. Every little town got one. Main Street, the big theater on Main Street. It's February 9th at 7 p.m. and February 10th at 3 p.m. So we have an evening show and an afternoon show.
Whoa! Okay, so are you thinking about taking it outside of Texas?
You know, Coco, I have about 3 plays that's ready to leave Texas. I'm just looking for the right theater. I'm looking for the right partnership and collaboration. And I'm just looking for the right time to do it. So
wow.
Theater, partnership, collaboration, and timing. But I have about 3 or 4 in the queue ready to leave Texas.
Woo!
Speaking of which and everything, as Coco knows, I work here in Durham, North Carolina at one of our African American cultural arts centers, which is part of NPN, National Performance Network, which is a lot of the minority theaters throughout the country and everything. So if you want to, either through Coco or other people, send me that information about the play, I can play a conduit to see if we can help you get that play to the Hayti Center or maybe some of the other African American community centers here in the Durham, North Carolina area, because I do know that they are open to doing the plays. As a matter of fact, they've got a film showing, I think it's February 1st, around gospel music and all along those lines that PBS is going to be doing. And then after that, there'll be a kind of a discussion around a book author that has written a book around the secret lives of the church ladies, which I think talks about even something that you might be interested in, Dr. Carey, which is how some of the conversations around sexuality, and if people are in that LGBT community, having to work that kind of divide that goes on between people's romantic interest and some of their interest in terms of their church walk and their faith walk as well. So that is what that particular book is about. And I think the author will actually be there on February the 2nd. So I think they're back-to-back events, if I remember correctly. But definitely.
Well, thank you, Mark.
keep talking for a second, Mark. Keep talking for 1 second. Hold on 1 second for me.
No problem. No problem. I'm glad to do that and everything. Keep things moving all along those lines and everything. But yeah, the book was, your whole speech was very fascinating and all along those lines. I was wondering your thoughts around something that you kind of alluded to and Coco alluded to as well. But how important is it for artists to deal with activism and what some of my friends call edutainment, which is educating and also giving some entertainment, but also educating through the entertainment? So it's one that is a playwright, but also a scholar. What is your thoughts around edutainment and the use of the arts in activism?
Right. You know what? I think when you're given a platform, it is your responsibility to use that wisely. And for me, because I do have the academic portion, I use my platform in that manner. And so I would say it's really up to the individual, but in given a platform, you have a responsibility to use it wisely. I choose to use mine to empower, to educate, to inspire, and to bring about change.
That makes a lot of sense and everything.
Yeah.
I see the other guests is here, and I will be running your information across as well. I did get your message, Coco, and everything. I'm thinking I'm trying to get that up and running so we'll have both of their information running so that folks can check that out and all along those lines. But definitely was a very insightful conversation that you were giving.
Awesome. And I got one more while you're doing that, Mark, getting Loretta prepared. I have one more question for Dr. Carey Ann. So listen, can you tell us something about you or what you love doing that no one knows about?
Oh boy. I really like, so I'm kind of a homebody actually. I like just sitting and chilling. My husband say I talk a lot, but I like sitting and watching football with him or just talking to him really. Just talking his ear off. But really, I think I am a homebody. I think what people don't know is that I'm actually an introvert. And so when everything is over, I like sitting at home in a fuzzy blanket, rolled up in my chair and watching movies, I love watching old sitcoms, and that's kind of what I like to do, or with a good book, and just spending time with my family. I think people think I'm always on the go and all glammed up, and the reality is I don't really wear makeup. I don't really dress up. That's the reality about me, and I'm at home rolled up in a couch. Yeah.
Natural beauty. Now, do you have any kids or any siblings? Or
I do not have siblings. I am the only child. I was raised the only child. Let me see. I would say I have a lot of extended siblings, but I was raised the only child. I have children. I have 2 bonus daughters, and they're adults. So all my children are adults. And then I have 2 sons. They're 26 and 23. And then I have a 9-year-old.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow, you look fabulous. That's amazing.
Thank you. What do they say?
I know that they're so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you, Coco.
So listen, so we have your information here running at the bottom of the screen, but can you tell the viewers tonight? I see my chat is kind of going crazy. They love what you said, what you brought to the table. And guess what, guys? She's going to be coming back too. She's going to be coming back. And the conversation, the topic is going to be what, Dr. Carrie Ann?
Oh boy. What are we going to talk about, Coco?
We said it before. We said it before.
Oh, yes. We're gonna tell them now. Are we telling them now? You tell them.
Just you can tell them just a little. Just
we're gonna tell them about the next one, right?
Right.
The casting call.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a big casting call, guys. It's gonna be a big casting call. So I have the license for colored girls. So we're gonna be doing a casting call. We're looking for 7 ladies. This play is gonna take place. It's going to be amazing. I am so excited. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna tell Coco how the casting call went. I'm gonna have the new cast ready, and we're gonna do 4 colored girls. Coco, I should bring 4 colored girls to North Carolina.
You have to. You have to bring it to
North Carolina. Oh
North
my gosh,
Carolina.
Coco, that's the one we should do.
Yes. Thank you, Lord. Mark is saying yes. We are speaking that into existence right now. Bring it to North Carolina. It's gonna be amazing.
Yes.
So that was a big announcement, everybody. So get ready. Dr. Carrie, and tell them how they can find you.
So you can find me. You can get me on Facebook, Dr. Carrie Ann Zamore. You can also go to my website, kzamore.com. kzamore.com. You can also go to my nonprofit website, which is zamorefoundation.org. zamorefoundation.org. Hey, Coco, you know one thing they don't know? For every play that I do, 10% is given back to our charities, which is our domestic violence charity and our literacy project, and then also Feed the Children in Belize charity.
Oh,
that's what we do. Out of every play, we take 10% and it goes right back into our charities.
Oh my God, that's amazing. To God be the glory. I love that. So guys, please, let's support Dr. Carrie Ann Zamore. Let's support her plays, her filmmaker, everything that she's doing. Even when you go to her Facebook page, like it, share it, all that good stuff. It's about helping each other. And, we're making it to the top. We can do this together. So Dr. Carrie Ann, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing this information, just lifting us up. I feel so inspired. I do. I feel inspired, and I cannot wait until we meet again. For our next broadcast. So thank you. I love you, my sister. I've been knowing you forever.
Thank you. Big hugs from Texas.
Yes. Thank you again. Thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderful night. And until we meet again.
Yes, ma'am. Bye-bye, y'all.
Hey. Wow. Yes, that was Dr. Carrie Ann Zamore. She is absolutely amazing. I know it. You know it. Go ahead and tell a friend. So make sure you follow her on Facebook. We have her information running at the bottom of the screen. Go to her page and continue watching the remainder of that video. Trust me, it's going to bless you. It's going to bless you. So next up, without further ado, thank you all, you guys, for your comments. Monique, Kim, all you guys out there just commenting. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you joining the show. I have my girl on here, Miss Loretta Holloway. She's been on the show, I think about 2 years ago. She is South Carolina's official First Lady of Song. Okay, she's absolutely fabulous. I've been knowing her for many years. She's an international recording artist. She has performed for Queen Elizabeth and Prince Phillips in Australia. She's been performing in Las Vegas, Atlantic City. She's opened up for Jay Leno, Whoopi Goldberg. She's been to Japan, Shanghai, Bangkok, Chile, all those countries. She has her singles that's out that's called That's Lady and Feels Like Love Again. Before I bring her on, I want to play a little of, before I bring her on, I want to play a little of That Lady. Let's check it out, Mark.
All the fame and all the planes, I've seen so many places, met so many faces, from the lowest valley to the highest mountain. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. But I'd give it all up. I'd give it all up, just for a moment, just for a moment. I'd give it all up. I'd give it all up, just for a moment with that lady. To sit down and talk with that lady. Have one more heart to heart with that lady. Look eye to eye with that lady. Ask me what I'd say. That I'm still that that I'm still, and I've been through it all, and I've seen it all, and I've done it all. I've done it all. I've done it all. Looking back on the days of my youth, oh, the days that I remember, the times I can't forget, the memories that made me, the life that she gave me. That lady, that lady, that lady. To sit down and talk with that lady. Have one more heart to heart with that lady. Oh Lord, look eye to eye with that lady. Ask me what I'd say. That I'm still that lady.
Oh. She said, I'm still.
Oh, hi.
Still that lady. Big hugs, my brother.
Hey, Ladybug, it's good to see you, Coco. Congratulations on what, 4 years doing this?
4 years, my love. 4
Yes,
years.
yes, yes.
Oh my God. When I was watching the videos, I love the way you perform because, see, what y'all don't understand, I think the last time I seen Miss Loretta was maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago when we did the
The
cruise.
cruise. Yes, that's
And
correct.
she did the tribute to Billie Holiday. She had on her white and the white hat. She was amazing. And when I looked at the video of that lady, that's all I kept thinking about. You performing on that cruise ship. I thought I was just watching Billie Holiday.
Oh, we had such fun on there, and that was the last time we saw
Keith Wonderboy.
Keith Wonderboy.
Keith
You
Wonderboy.
both put on quite a show. You really did.
But thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think that the times that y'all would see me when I wasn't performing, we were in there eating. We was always.
I'm just okay. I can't hear you without but I got to get some more updated equipment. I noticed that you and Miss Carrie, right, didn't have any microphones or anything, and here I am, just kind of antiquated, sitting up in here in Belton. I really got to come up to speed. But let me tell you about that lady.
Tell me about that lady.
That lady, I consider it my anthem.
Yeah.
I made a promise to my mother before she transitioned that I would start recording and singing my own songs. So there was a gentleman by the name, and he still is. We're still together, working on. He produced that.
Okay.
His name is JoJo Williams Jr. and his wife Sadasia. We hadn't spoken in about 4 or 5 years. He called me up and he said, "Loretta, I got a song I want to play for you." I went, "Okay." So when he played that for me, it resonated within me.
Yeah.
But instead, it was called "I Am Still That Lady." So I said, "Wait a minute. Why are we giving away the ending at the very beginnings?" I wanted to build. Who is she talking about? Is she talking about her mother? Is she talking about herself?
Right.
Is she talking about a lover?
Right.
You know. Also, I left it open to. I wanted it to be open to the audience's interpretation. Because, we always all go through situations where we find ourselves, then we lose ourselves, and then hopefully by the grace of God, we come full circle.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's what when he brought that, JoJo Williams brought that. So that is the very first song that we did last year. And that lady. And then we released it. It's on all streaming platforms. And then we released a second song, which I wrote many, many years ago, but it was never released with another recording company.
Okay.
And the only thing I ended up with was a cassette tape. Remember those?
Yes, I do.
So I'm listening to this cassette tape and all the great songs that never got released with this other production company. And I've had 3 cassette tapes. So I said, I'm going to start writing. I'm going to fulfill my promise to my mother.
Yeah.
That I would write and record my own songs. So I have about 6 songs that I have already written. The next one that I sent to you was Feels Like Love Again.
Yes.
So we put a different treatment to it as we're going to do the rest of the other songs that I have written.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I like that.
So tell me, how do you hear without these little? How are you guys hearing?
I mean, through the audio button. I mean, if you unplug it, you won't be able to hear me.
No, it says microphone. All right, I can try. No, we're doing well.
Right.
Don't mess with it. Okay, let's just keep going, keep rolling.
That's what I love about Miss Loretta. She's so real. She's so real. I love that. But I wanted to say to you, for that lady, you are right. Our imagination, because the whole time it was playing, I'm saying to myself, I wonder who she's talking about.
Yeah. I have such a wonderful response from men and women on that song. People have come up to me crying after I have done that song in my show, after my show. And it is so well received by both men and women because they can identify.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of them think of their mothers. Really, first of all, that's, you know, the life that she gave me. I love that lyric. The life that she gave me.
Baby, right.
And you know, the life that Coco has given Coco.
Yes.
With all the places you have been and seen and done and whatever. You know, that was a life that was birthed in you.
Yeah.
And these are experiences. I've had some incredible experiences in my lifetime.
Yes, you have. And just, you know, just recently, you know, was sad to, you know, hear her pass, but you've had a chance to perform for the Royal Queen Elizabeth. Look at that. Look at that.
Yes. I got a chance to meet her. I was presented to her. I did a show. It was a Royal Command performance in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I had been performing in Bangkok. And these Australians came in, and right away I knew that they were showbiz.
Right.
They were showbiz people, you know. And so one of the gentlemen asked, I was with a 6-piece orchestra, 16-piece orchestra. It was a 16-piece orchestra in Bangkok at the Dusitani Hotel. And so in between a song, he said, "Can you sing Waltzing Matilda?" And I said, "What is a Matilda?" And, you know, he jumps up and, you know, you don't come up on my stage unless I invite you. All right. Okay.
Right.
You do not.
Right.
That's why I like a Shure Beta microphone. Because, you know, but this man had such energy and I loved him. His name was Paul Sherritt. I didn't know that at the time. So he sang Waltzing Matilda and his whole crew were, you know, after the performance, after my show, I went and sat down and we conversed. So, you know, we exchanged phone numbers and so I'll get back within 6 months. And how many times have you heard that?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
6 months later, Paul Sherritt calls and he says, "Loretta," you know, a lovely Australian. His wife and I are still friends. He no longer is with us. Paul Sherritt. He said, "How would you like to sing for Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip in a Royal Command performance?" I said, "Book it." He said, "The only thing that I need is your opening song and the Broadway medley," because he wanted to augment it it was like 56 something orchestra, her Queensland Symphony Orchestra. So I sent him over my charts and then they augmented it to 50 something pieces.
Wow.
That was an amazing time. I represented the United States because I was the only American on the performance for the Royal Command performance.
That's amazing.
But they treated me royally. I did a wonderful photo shoot. I had just bought a lot of clothes in Bangkok.
Yeah.
Love Bangkok. And so I had all these new outfits and gowns and things. But the gown that I wore during the performance was by Fernando Pena. And I wanted something very simple but elegant. And I got exactly what I wanted.
Oh, the pictures, it says it all. It just, oh my God. I know that was, you know, a wonderful experience that you can share with so many people because people's dream to perform in front of the Queen, and you had that opportunity. So thank God.
Yes, coming all the way from little city of Belton, South Carolina. Yes. Who knew? Well, I was always reading. I was always reading when I was a child. I spent majority of my time at the Belton Library, sitting on the floor and reading about places, never dreaming that I was going to travel and have my foot on the soil of these countries that I had been reading about. So God has been good. I've had a wonderful, and the career still goes on. Yes.
Still going strong.
You know, I have, as I said, I'm promoting the 2 singles, That Lady and Feels Like Love Again.
Yeah.
which was partially true story. Uh, to, to an extent.
To an
It,
extent.
it was the end of summer.
Uh-oh.
The very last day, the sun was a burning ember in the sky. He caught me by
Yes.
surprise. Something in his eyes said, "Come to me."
Go to Loretta.
And I couldn't turn away.
Wow.
Anyway, I love the
We're gonna
lyrics.
have a chance to play that at the end of the show. So you guys, stay tuned for that. But speaking of, you are from South Carolina. They have named you the official first lady of
Of
song.
song,
How amazing
by
is that?
Senate proclamation. That's the proclamation. No, that's the proclamation up there. But that was the evening they presented it to me here in Belton. And again, the gentleman JoJo Williams. We were doing a stage play called "A Fall from Grace: Relationships and DUI." Then we had he's so multi-talented. He had a television show we were doing called The Bishop's House.
Okay.
Then at the same time, we were doing a full-length movie called what is it? Reverend Scrooge. It's a classic. I am telling you, it was 3 hours. It premiered here in Belton.
Wow.
The next night after our red carpet event. And so the night of the event, I was presented with the proclamation from the Senate as South Carolina's official First Lady of Song. Another proclamation from the Anderson County as an Anderson County treasure. Little treasure, you. And I also have the key to the city of Newark, New Jersey.
Yes. Newark, New Jersey. Now, is that where you're originally from?
No, I was born and reared in Belton, South Carolina, right here.
Okay.
Actually, I'm in the home place. So my father and my mother built this home, and so they left me when they transitioned. They left me, so I based myself out of the home place.
I love it. There's Mark.
You couldn't find me, could you? Could you, Mark?
Couldn't resist it, Loretta. You just got so much energy and so many fun things that cross my mind. But I had the pleasure yesterday on my own show of talking to Robin Bobby, who didn't start her modeling career till she was like around 60 or something like that. Her and her husband, who is a photographer. So for those people that are thinking about reinventing themselves or even continuing their journey, like you are at a later age, I hate that term, middle age, even though I'm in my 60s, so I guess technically I'm that as well and everything. But what do you say to those folks that are thinking that they have to stop going when they are at a certain age? Because one of the things that I admire about you, Loretta, is that not only you are a radiant beauty, but you also have a very lovely energy about you, and it seems like you've had that since you were a child, and you still got it now.
Well, mazel tov. I thank you. You know, of all the things that I have done and places I have been and seen, I'm not done yet. I say I'm only just beginning. And these two songs have given me a new boost in my life. I've done movies as well, and a soundtrack for a movie. But this has given me a new boost and a new shot in the arm to keep going. You know, I have not reached the pinnacle of where Loretta can be. So you have to keep going.
Yeah.
I have to keep going.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I love what I do. My goodness, when I connect with an audience, and because I am a song stylist, and I am a wonderful interpreter of lyrics and understanding. Someone from Variety magazine called me a singing actress, wherein I use my lyrics as a dialogue.
Yeah.
So thus, I don't really sing the same song the same way ever. It's always something, because there's always a play on words that you can enunciate, you can emphasize on any given night. So I love what I do. I am an old soul. I know that for sure.
Yeah, I know
And
about
I
that
thank
old
you.
soul. No
Yeah.
problem. I know about that old soul because I've been an old soul, been called that even when I was in my 30s and everything, and I'm in my 60s. So I definitely had that old soul spirit. I'm actually going to ask a Coco type question and everything, but I know she asks these kind of unique questions, and I had one that crossed my mind and everything. You have traveled the world. I know Coco has traveled the world as well,
Uh-huh.
and TV is internationally oriented. What is a place that you have not been to yet that maybe somebody is watching from one of those countries that is on your wish list? What is a place that you have not traveled to in all that world traveling that you would
All
love
that
to
world traveling. I would love to go to Paris and entertain in Paris. And I have not been to South Africa. So those are the two places.
Yes.
I would love to go to Ireland.
Mm.
Yes.
Yes.
And Switzerland. Now you've been to Switzerland, right? Oh
No, I
no.
haven't been to Switzerland. Mm-mm.
Okay. I
Mm-mm.
thought Morocco.
Morocco. Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes. Yes. And you would do well over there. And you know, you guys, you need to really go back and like watch her videos. She's so correct when she says, you know, the emphasis she's put on words. I love to watch her show. You know, some people say it's dramatic. No, I say it's no, really,
Yeah.
it's art, it's craft because
Mm.
you know the way you perform and you just capture people. We was just sitting like, oh my God. And so kind of piggybacking off of Mark's question,
Uh-huh.
you know, being that we are seasoned,
Yes.
like that word,
Uh-huh.
seasoned for,
And an old soul.
and an old soul for those that's coming up now. You know, I don't know. Some people don't love the passion of music like we do. So for those that's coming up today, or those that you know feel like that they should give up because they have reached this certain age, you know, Loretta and I want to encourage you tonight. Don't give up. You know, as she
No.
said earlier, she still have places that she wants to go and want to reach her peak. So don't give up. You know, God has given you a gift and a dream. No matter how many no's. Do you know how many times we've been told no?
Oh, big time. And you know, and the dreams that, you know, were delayed are
Yes.
not necessarily denied,
Denied.
you know. And I want to also mention my book.
The book. Yes.
The book.
The book.
I was going through such well, who didn't during COVID? I mean, we were right in the throes of COVID. And so I vowed to myself that I was going to write a book before I leave this earth.
Yes.
So I wrote a book called Inside Loretta, and there's a lot happening inside Loretta. Anyway, it's a very short read, but it's a very deep read.
Yeah.
I call them, there are short stories of my life, memories of my childhood, my mom and dad, and precious things of Christmas. And I have one-line revelations I call Loretta-isms.
Yeah.
Loretta-isms such as, there is a difference between a helpmate, a soulmate, and someone you tolerate.
I love it.
Can I get another? Can I get another one?
Yes. Give me another
All right.
one.
Okay. The greatest feeling I've ever felt was to look at you and feel nothing.
Ooh.
Uh-oh, somebody's been there.
Ooh.
Somebody's been there.
Come on.
Come on. See, now these are called Loretta-isms. It's, as I mentioned, it is a very short read, but it's a very in-depth read.
Oh.
And a lot of things are talking about mental health and dealing with different issues. The poems that I have in here. And so I have donated a portion of the profit from Loretta Holloway, Inside Loretta, to NAMI and other mental health organizations around the world.
Wow. And
so
so
these
book.
Well, you may get the book on Barnes & Noble and Amazon. However, people have been asking, we want an autographed copy. So
there we go.
I am making it available through my post office box.
Okay.
Post office box 778, Belton, Belton, South Carolina.
Yes.
29627. And the book, just you tell me how you want it personalized, or you can go to my website, which is my name, www.lorettaholloway.com. There's an order form on my website for the book, my debut CD, which is Loretta Holloway Quietly. That was my
Yes.
first CD. It saved my life. It really did.
Yes. Yes.
After those three almost record company deals that fell through, I said, once before I die, I would like to see my face on the cover of a CD if I have to produce it myself.
No.
So this is unplugged. There are 17 songs, all ballads, live strings, acoustic piano. Thank you, Bobby Schiff out of Chicago, Illinois.
Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby Schiff. So there are songs on here such as Angel Eyes and Can't Help Loving That Man of Mine and I'm a Fool to Want You. Strange Fruit is on here. I wanted to explore that.
Yes.
Yeah. Love Don't Need a Reason. And then Old Man River.
Okay.
Because I love songs with verses to them.
Okay.
So I understand I'm one of very few females who have ever performed or sung Old Man River. So I wanted to they were playing Stomp the Singer one night.
Okay.
And they said, sing Old Man River. Somehow or another, I knew the verse. There's an old man called the Mississippi. That's the old man I would like to be.
Yeah.
I tell you, by the time I finished that song, there was something that swept over me. Like all of my ancestors or whatever were in that room, and I brought them up and back, and I knew that I had to record this song. So all of the songs on here, 17 songs, have a very special and personal meaning for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So listen, guys, if you want to order your book, your CDs, we have her information running at the bottom of the screen. Again, if you want to personalize, autograph, she gave the information. You can go back and get the P.O. box address.
Yes.
It is always a pleasure,
Thank you.
talking to you, Miss Loretta. I'm so glad that we touch bases again.
Yes.
I know we haven't seen each other in a long time, but I want to give you a virtual hug.
Virtual hug. Thank you, lady.
Oh,
congratulations again.
Thank you. And thank you so much for your support and all your encouraging words and things that you give me. I really do appreciate that. And we can't wait to see what God is getting ready to do for your future. That Ireland trip, that South Africa trip, that Paris. Oh my God.
Paris. I've been to Nice and the Isles of Greece. I've sipped champagne on a yacht. Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. So thank you again, young lady. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are going to play her next song, her other song, Feels Like Love Again, at the end of the show. So again, Miss Loretta Holloway, the South Carolina's official First Lady of Song. Thank you so much for coming to the show. We love you here. Thank you. So, guys, you have heard it tonight. We have had Dr. Carrie Ann Zamora and Miss Loretta Holloway, South Carolina's official First Lady of Song, here on the show tonight. I do pray that you enjoyed it. Again, make sure that you follow them. Make sure you support them. Dr. Carrie Ann, she has her play that's coming up. And then for Miss Loretta, she has some music that's out on all digital platforms, and her book as well. So listen, we want you to support these young ladies. We appreciate them coming to the show. Thanks to everyone coming on tonight with their comments, their likes, and share. We want you to share this broadcast. That's how we come together. That's how we get the knowledge and the information out to different people if we share. So everyone on here tonight, make sure you share this broadcast so our fellow brothers and sisters can hear the information that came forth tonight. So until next week, again, I say to you, trust in the Lord with all thy heart. Lean not to thy own understanding, but in all thy ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. God bless you. Thanks to Dr. Eric Kelly, Mark Lee, the IBM Network of TV. So thank you so much, guys, for all your support and everything that you do for the show. We are going to leave you tonight with Miss Loretta Holloway's single, Feels Like Love Again. God bless you. Good night. Have a blessed weekend.
It was the end of summer, the very last day. The sun was a burning ember in the sky. He caught me by surprise. Something in his eyes said, come to me. I couldn't turn away. Oh, it was curious, a little too mysterious. I knew him from another time and place. Silent whispers in the middle of the night. I knew his voice, I swear I knew his face. Tell me, was it a dream? Was I insane? I never felt such pleasure, would never know such pain. Should I surrender or just let him walk away? Ha! I was lonely, I've been looking for love. There's no sin in wanting to be free. So I gave myself without regret. I let that man make sweet love to me. I must have been crazy, must have been insane. I didn't ask forever, I never knew his name. Oh no, but it feels like I'm in love again. It feels like love, but it feels like I'm in love again. It feels like love. Yes, I was lonely, I've been looking for love. There's no sin in wanting to be free. So I gave myself without regret. I let that man make sweet love to me. I must have been crazy, I must have been insane. I didn't ask forever, I never knew his name, but it feels like love. But it feels like love. It feels like love, baby. Talk to me.